This is you, 10 feet above a machine gun bunker in the middle of Vietnam. The helicopter is shaking so hard your teeth are rattling. Bullets are coming straight up through the floor. The windshield is already gone. You can see the sandbags below your skids. You are that close. The men inside that bunker are firing directly up at you, and you are not pulling away. 90 men in an open rice paddy, 160 feet away, have been dying here for 2 hours. Their commander is already dead. They are running out of ammunition. Every other option has been tried. Artillery, gunships, flanking maneuvers. Nothing worked. So, you came up with a crazy plan to land a helicopter on top of the bunker to confuse the enemy by the strong wind of the blades. But what happens next shocks everyone. 18 months ago, you were flipping pancakes at an IHOP in Sacramento. You are 21 years old. The draft letter came and you did not resist it. You ran toward it. Armor school. Officer candidate school. Then flight school, where the instructors tell you that you fly a helicopter like you were born in one. You were not born in one. You were born on a cattle ranch on the Klamath River on the California-Oregon border. You have been on horseback since you could walk. And what you figured out the moment you got your hands on a helicopter is that flying one and riding a horse operate on the same principle. You don't fight the machine. You feel what it tells you. You work with it. That understanding is going to save your life and a lot of other people's lives many times over the next 18 months. You arrive in Vietnam on December 11th and join D Troop, 3rd Squadron, 5th Cavalry. They are the Cavalry Reconnaissance Unit for the 9th Infantry Division, which makes them something of an oddity in the Army's structure. No cavalry division above them. They answer to infantry generals. The other cavalry units call them the Bastard Cav. They wear yellow scarves and white Stetsons, a nod to the old horse cavalry. You show up wearing a full 1863 cavalry uniform. Blue coat with brass buttons, yellow silk scarf, white Stetson, and hanging from your belt, a genuine Civil War cavalry officer's saber. Not for show. You intend to use it. Nobody who looks at your face laughs about this. Your first 18 hours of combat. You are assigned to fly the OH-6, the Loach, a tiny 2-seat helicopter with a bubble canopy that looks like a flying fishbowl. It was designed to fly high and safe and spot enemy positions from a distance. You ignore all of this immediately. You fly it at treetop level, sometimes lower. You skim rice paddies so close that the rotor wash parts the water below you. You hover beside canal banks with your door gunner leaning out to look directly into enemy positions. You get so close to the fighting that when someone fires at you, you can see their face. This is not recklessness. This is your theory of the war. Get close enough that they panic. Make them shoot badly. Make them show where they are hiding. Then the gunships above tear them apart. Your tiny helicopter is the bait. You are fine with being the bait. You are good at it. Then, in your first 18 hours of flying combat missions, a burst of enemy fire brings you down. You crash. You break your jaw. They put you on a medical flight to a hospital in Yokohama, Japan, with your jaw wired shut and orders to recover and then go home. You are in Japan for 4 days before you find a cargo plane heading back to Vietnam and climb aboard without authorization. When you walk into the operations tent at Dong Tam, with your jaw still wired shut, the duty officer stares at you.
Cosa Leo, you're supposed to be in a hospital.
I'm fine.
You say, through wired teeth.
What's flying today?
They put you back in the cockpit. In a war where good pilots are hard to find, a man who escapes a hospital to get back to his unit is not someone you ground. May 1968. Saigon is burning. The May Offensive. 5 days of the hardest urban fighting of the war in the streets south of Saigon. You fly from before dawn to after dark, refueling, reloading, and going back up. Every time you land, the ground crew counts the bullet holes and patches them overnight. One afternoon, a Huey goes down in front of you. It hits the ground hard and catches fire. You put your helicopter down beside the wreck before anyone tells you to. You and your crew chief run to the burning cockpit.
I've got the pilot. Get the co-pilot out.
The fuel tanks are 3 seconds from going up. You drag the unconscious pilot out through the door while your crew chief pulls the co-pilot from the other side. You get them both clear before the fire reaches the tanks. You get the soldier's medal for this. You do not think about it much. There was a fire, and people were in it. The math was simple. September 1968. A canal west of Tanan. You are flying a scout mission when you spot him below a man running along a canal bank, armed. He sees your helicopter and throws his weapon into the water and dives in after it. You put the loach down on the bank. You shut the throttle back to idle. You take off your flight helmet and put on the white Stetson. You climb out and walk to the water's edge and draw the saber from your belt. The canal is murky brown. You cannot see more than a few inches into it. You start probing the muddy bottom with the blade, working along the bank, feeling for something solid. The blade finds something that moves. A man explodes out of the surface, gasping, soaking wet, having lain on the bottom for 2 minutes, breathing through a hollow reed. It is a technique the Viet Cong use to hide from helicopters. He comes up and you are standing over him in a white cowboy hat holding a sword, and for a moment the two of you just look at each other. You march him back to the helicopter at sword point. You make him stand on the landing skid and hold on.
If you try anything,
You tell him.
I let go.
He holds on all the way back to base. When someone asks you later why you bothered going to the trouble of capturing a prisoner instead of just moving on, you shrug.
Scouts got beer and soda credits for prisoners.
You say.
We got pretty good at it.
January 25th, 1969, 7 days after you voluntarily returned for another tour. Charlie Company is crossing an open rice paddy near the village of Phu Mai when the bunker opens up. It is dug deep, reinforced, hidden well, and it kills the company commander in the first burst. 4 more men go down with him, the rest hit the dirt and stayed there. You are overhead in your Cobra gunship when the call comes in. You circle once and look at it. The bunker is 160 feet from the Americans. That means no artillery, the blast would kill your own teammates. No heavy rockets from the Cobra, same problem. You send 2 other helicopters in your team on attack runs. They come back with bullet holes and the bunker is still firing. The men on the ground have been unable to move for 2 hours. Ammunition is running out. Wounded soldiers are bleeding in the open, and no one can reach them. You get on the radio.
War wagon lead. Put your loach down in the open area south of the fight. I'm taking your aircraft.
Say again, Crusader.
Land the helicopter. I'm swapping.
You put the Cobra down. You run across the open ground. The Cobra is a gunship powerful, but too big and too heavy to hover directly over a bunker without killing the men 50 feet away from it. The Loach is different. It is the smallest helicopter on this battlefield. Light enough to land on a rooftop without collapsing it. Small enough to get the angle the Cobra never could. That is why you are running across this field right now. You climb in and lift off. Here is what you know that the men in that bunker do not know yet. Their machine gun was built to fire across a flat paddy. It fires horizontally. The firing port faces outward. It cannot aim straight up. And the crew inside has been trained to fight infantry, not to deal with a helicopter landing on their roof. You make several attack runs diving straight at the bunker, firing, pulling up hard, repositioning, diving again. Each run suppresses them, forces them to keep their heads down, sets up what you are about to do. The bullets from the AK-47 of the Vietnamese soldiers are coming straight up through the floor of your helicopter. The windshield is already gone. Then you stop pulling up. The Loach descends toward the bunker. 10 feet, 8, 5. The rotor wash is hitting the sandbags. Dust and dirt are blasting outward. The machine gun is trying to elevate, but it cannot get the angle. You know this, and you are going down anyway. The noise is extraordinary. Metal tearing, the engine screaming, the rotor chopping air just above the heads of the men inside the bunker. The skids touch. Your gunner kicks the door open, jumps out, yanks the pin of the grenade, and throws it through the firing port. He immediately jumps back inside. You pull pitch. The machine gun has stopped. You bring the Loach down next to the infantry, not next to the general who has been watching from a command helicopter above, but next to the ground commander on the dirt who needs to know what you saw from the air. You climb out and brief him. Where the other enemy positions are. The best route forward. what his men are going to walk into when they move. Then you get back in the helicopter, return to your Cobra, and fly overhead fire support until the last position is secured and all 90 men are on their feet. Only then do you land. The general is already on the ground waiting. He promotes you from first lieutenant to captain on the spot. He awards you the Silver Star in the field. He later recommends you for the Distinguished Service Cross, the nation's second highest award for valor, which you receive on May 7, 1969. The citation says, extraordinary heroism. 90 men walked out of that paddy. 160 feet, 2 hours. One tiny helicopter and a grenade through a firing port. You fly 3 tours in Vietnam, shot down 6 times. Several times you bring the helicopter back so badly damaged it never flies again. You come back each time. You marry Sherry. She was a Red Cross volunteer at the Officers Club, one of the women who came to Vietnam to remind the men there what normal sounded like. You have a son, Christopher. In 1986, your heart starts failing. A virus. The Army retires you. You go back to the ranch and compete in team roping with your brother and try to be a normal person for a while. Your heart gets worse. In 1992, you move to Portland to wait for a transplant. You wait 7 months. On April 27, 1993, you receive a new heart. The surgery goes well. The doctors are optimistic. On April 30th, the new heart fails. You die at 46 years old. April 30th, the same date Saigon fell in 1975. The same date the Vietnam War ended. You survived 6 shootdowns, a broken jaw, 3 tours, and everything that war could put in front of you. But your own heart could not be fixed the way you fixed everything else by going straight at it and refusing to quit. 18 survivors of Charlie Company have signed a letter to the United States Senate asking that your Distinguished Service Cross be upgraded to the Medal of Honor. 18 men who went home because you landed on the thing that was killing them. The Pentagon is still reviewing. Today, the U.S. Army's Special Operations Forces fly a helicopter called the Little Bird, the direct descendant of the Loach, built on the same lineage, updated with modern engines and avionics, but carrying the same philosophy: small, fast, low, and straight at the problem. It is used in the most sensitive missions in the world by the best pilots alive, flying at the same low altitudes you pioneered in the Mekong Delta in 1968. They don't carry sabers, but they fly like you did. If you want to see more stories like this one, check out our last video about the Soviet pilot who stole a MiG and fled to Japan. Click on it and we'll see you in the next one.